Hello, folks. Welcome back to the channel. As many of you know, we've explored quite a bit of Hyderabad, especially the western and the southern parts, diving into pros and cons of various locations, the key projects, and their price points. Today, we're switching focus to something different, the low density projects and why they matter. But first, let's break down what density is and what is the key factor that determines and how is it relevant in the world of real estate. Think of it this way. Would you prefer a window or an aisle seat on a flight over a cramped middle seat? Most of us would prefer a window or an aisle. That's because there's more space and comfort. Similarly, why do people pay extra for premium or business class? It is about space and exclusivity. Of course, there are many other factors like service, convenience, but within the same flight, we see people paying different prices based on the value that they perceive. Now, apply this analogy to real estate. Beyond just your core home, you're also paying for shared spaces like lobby, elevators, amenities, and even cafes. If you're spending more, you expect a more spacious and exclusive living environment. Of course, we all know that this is not the only factor to look at. When it comes to real estate, there are a bunch of factors that you consider because it is one of the most important decisions of your life. But density is a crucial one to look at, and the value for money that one would get is clearly dependent on this variable. With that in mind, today's video is about exploring the top 15 least dense communities in Hyderabad, and specifically Western Hyderabad. We'll also reflect on few key takeaways and reflections in terms of what we are observing as a pattern. For this video, we'll define density as number of units per acre, a straightforward way to gauge how crowded or spacious a community is. There are various other ways to measure density, but this gives us the best snapshot. Let's dive in and look at the communities ranked by units per acre. To keep it simple, we'll just stick to this metric and save price comparisons, other aspects for another video. If you're interested in more details, please do drop a comment and I'll be able to cover that in a future episode. Let's go by order. The first one on the list is One Hyde Park. Let me repeat, One Hyde Park, that is overlooking the KBR Park as you can see on the screen. Very exclusive, 1.5 acre, 30 units. So that puts the density at close to 20 units per acre. That's the first on the list. Second, we are looking at MyScape Edition, which is in Nanakramguda. Also similar size, 1.4 acres, 31 units, density being 22. Third is the World at Jubilee Hills. Yes, this is where it is. This is a unique community because it is not only the highest but also one of the biggest communities that offers the low density. We're staring at 14.5 acres of land parcel and only 344 units. And that puts it at 24 units per acre. It's one of a rare gem because you usually don't find such humongous communities of 14.5 acre communities with such low density. That truly gives you a feeling of community, unlike some of the 1 to 2 acre projects. All right, that's the third on the list. Moving on to fourth. We're back to Nanakramguda Financial District area. MyScape Isle of Skye. A lot of you would have driven past this. It's in 1 acre, 28 units. The density is 28. Fifth on the list is Twin Towers by DSR SSI, further down this road. As you can see, overlooking the ORR, bang on the service road. 3 acres, 86 units. Density is roughly around 29. All right, back to the MyScape road. We're staring at a few more projects from MyScape group. We are looking at MyScape Mia. 1.2 acres, 38 units only. The density is 31 for this particular project. Next again is a project by DSR SSI group. More central, closer to high-tech city. We're looking at the first This is a project that's in 3 acres with only 100 units, the density being 33. Moving on, we have Helicon Fuji again in Jubilee Hills. This is a project that's set in about 2.2 acres with 75 units, density being 34. Back to Financial District, the next on the list is Jaiberry The Peak, relatively older project compared to the ones that we've looked at, set in 4 acres, 145 units, the density is 36. Next, a more recently launched project, Navnami Meghalaya. We're going slightly away from the central parts. This is near the TSPA junction. 4.1 acres, 150 units. You're staring at a density of about 37 units per acre. Right, coming again back to the Myscape Road, you have Myscape Loft, which has 2 units per floor, 1 acre, 36 units, and has about density of 36 as you can see. You have only 36 units in 1 acre. On the same road is Myscape U, which is to the right here. It's more of a branded residence where they've partnered with this group called U. It's set in 2.5 acres, 99 units only. And the density for this one is close to 40. It's easy to cover this road because there are a bunch of projects that we're looking at, all from Myscape group, all within the 1 to 2 acre land parcel size. Alright, so 8th on the list is Myscape Otomo, very similar to Loft. It's also set in about 1.2 acres, only 46 units. The density is around 40. Alright, the last two, which will bring our list down to 15, is along the Kokapet downtown road, along the Shankapalli Kokapet road, closer to Neopolis as well. There's a project by Raichandani Group, Eka 1. This is set in 1.5 acres, has about 60 units, taking the density to close to 41. And last on the list is a slightly more expansive gated community set in about 5.2 acres, 232 units, and as you can see, 2 per floor. The density is 45, and this is by DSR SSI group as well, called Fortune Sontalia Sky Villas. Now that's a quick tour of the top 15 least dense communities in the western part of Hyderabad. Again, relatively new. We're looking at gated communities only. If there's anything that I've missed, feel free to share. This is based on my analysis, the database that I maintain. Now let me just close with a couple of quick reflections. One, there is a reason why this is, this has been the pattern, and we're looking at density as one of the factors, because what has happened is, over a period of time, with land prices appreciating and Hyderabad having unlimited FSI, people are looking at extracting more and more yield out of the same 1 acreage parcel. Now, as a result, the older the property is, we tend to see that they could be lesser dense. For example, Jaiberry The Peak is a good example. The same project would not be viable in today's day and age, given the land prices. And another good example is Neopolis, very recent establishment, definitely pricey. You have highly tall buildings here, very luxurious as well, but the density is definitely not compared to the top 15 that we've seen. That's also because a lot of the folks who've invested money here, who've bought land, have bought it at steep prices, and like I mentioned, to extract higher yield and maintain their margins, they will go higher, and as a result, density is a bit compromised. But I'm sure this is, like I said, this is not the only factor to look at. There are definitely other factors to look at in the world of real estate. But just make sure that are you getting the bang for buck, and use this as one of the criteria among the others. The other reflection is, as you would have noticed, most of the projects in the top 15 are under the 1 to 2 acre land acreage parcel, most of them. And this is a strategic decision. Builders do this consciously. They realize that we're building an exclusive community. There will be lower demand for large size units, so it'll be hard to build 1,000 units or let's say 1,500 units of large floor plates and reduce the density, but rather do that in 1 to 2 acre land parcels, with a few exceptions. For example, as we've seen from DSR Group particularly, they've done World at Jubilee Hills, bigger community. The first at DSR is also a big community. Fortune Suntalio Villas is also a slightly bigger community. There are exceptions to this, but by and large, we are seeing that they tend to be smaller in size. So you could say this is a fancy standalone apartment, which is fine. But if you are looking for a sense of community where you can actually walk around in a 10-acre property, that's not going to happen. So those are my quick reflections. I wanted to share that with you. Please do keep me honest. Do share anything that I've missed, and look forward to hearing any comments you might have. With that, that's a wrap. I'll see you in some of the future videos. Thank you.